Welcome back to the final episode of
What?
this
Is it the
season.
final episode?
Of this season.
Final episode?
No,
Or is it yeah?
next episode.
Oh.
I don't know what you were trying to do. What were you trying to do?
Going to the usher at halftime.
Oh. It's alright. It's decent. It was decent.
Wasn't the greatest, but yeah, welcome back everyone.
We the Kellowitz Bros for Backyard Bullshit Podcast. Yes, sir. Yeah. So, anyway, what do we got on the agenda for tonight? Big boy.
So, first of all, do we have any shout-outs?
No.
No? I got two.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah? Yeah?
Well, technically my two is just, actually, I got three.
Yeah?
Yeah. So my first shout out goes out to George Phillips of Phillips Repair. That is a local appliance business here in Fairbury, Nebraska. If you need your appliance done, please give him a call or contact him. I think he has a Facebook page. I don't know if he does. But if not, you can always find me on Facebook and I will gladly give you his number. The other one is, so, as I was saying, George Phillips is the reason I'm giving him a shout out is because our oven went out earlier this week and we called him and he showed up the very next day, took a look at it, figured out what was wrong with it, and unfortunately the part that is bad they don't make anymore. So, but yeah, he was really nice and polite and everything about it. So if you have any appliance issues that is going wrong, I'd highly recommend George Phillips to come look at it, and he will do his best to solve it. Speaking of my second one goes out to 3rd Street Thrift Shop here in Fairbury, Nebraska. So, as I mentioned before, as our stove or our oven went
Did
out,
you just say 3rd Street? It's E Street.
or E Street.
E Street, 3rd shop.
Sorry.
Yeah, that would have been on 4th Street, not 3rd Street, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy.
I don't know. So, correction, E Street Thrift Shop. As I mentioned before, our oven went out, and they had one for sale, and so luckily we didn't have to travel too far to go get a new one, and luckily we could get one in our own hometown. So, shout out to them for having stuff that we needed. If you're looking for anything, they got a little pretty neat shop set up, and they have just about anything that you need. So if you need anything, I'd recommend them. My third one.
Oh my goodness, another one?
I told you I had three.
Oh my goodness.
I changed it. I told you I had three. My third one goes out to wasn't prepared for this. Oh, goes out to Street Predators.
Whatever,
And
Street Predators.
So, Street Predators is a Nebraska car club, and they reached out to me earlier this week, and they want to do a charity event for my nonprofit. And apparently they have a few members that are in their car club that is from the Fairbury area. So I thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, so I gotta give them a shout out too, because they're willing to help me. So yeah,
Cool.
figured.
Diggity dog.
Yeah. Also, if you want to learn more about them, I'm pretty sure you could go on Facebook or online or anywhere like that. They will be hosting a car show in Lincoln. Or did you forget?
Oh, just my phone.
Oh.
But it's fine. It's cool. I don't care.
But yeah, they'll be in Lincoln in the next few weeks because they're hosting a car show for another non-profit automotive shop called Charity Autos in Lincoln. So if you're in the Lincoln area and you're struggling financially and you need vehicle repairs, I would highly recommend reaching out to Charity Auto there too. Or like I said, is if you want to learn more about street predators, then go to their car show, get to know the people.
Good deal. Good deal. Good
So yeah,
deal.
it's nice to see local groups trying to give back to the community the best they can.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's all I got for shout outs.
That's all you got? Are you
Yeah,
sure? Are
yeah.
you sure?
I'm positive those are about the 3 I wanted to hit this week.
Cool.
So, do you have a $1 million question or dare or moment, or this could be anything? We'll just call it $1 million moment. Something that happened this week that you want to talk about?
Honestly, I had something last night that I was like, ooh, I should talk about that in the potty. But yeah, I don't
You don't?
really remember.
So, my $1 million moment for this week wasn't a very good one, to be honest. I unfortunately had to tell a customer that brought their vehicle in to my shop and wanted me working on it for my non-profit. By the way, for those of you that don't know, I own a non-profit automotive repair shop. I do, as long as you provide parts, I do labor for free will donation. It is Good Samaritan Mechanics. You can look me up on Facebook. But yeah, I had a customer come in and bring a car over, and unfortunately I found some other major issues that were wrong with it and had to tell him that there's probably going to be more time spent in it than what it's actually worth. So yeah, I felt kind of bad that I had to do that.
Gosh, asshole.
I know.
Asshole.
But I also so yeah, I would really watch to, first of all, if you want somebody working on your car or house or whatever, please have it be a trusted, somebody you trust. And sometimes you can trust somebody and they'll still find a way to rip you off. Unfortunately, that's kind of
The way that works.
yeah. So
Everyone's greedy.
so
At least if you're gonna do it, figure out how to cover it up properly. It doesn't have to be 100% fakes. It just needs to be
As-
an operational fix. Okay,
Yeah.
that can go out in the
So-
future.
I don't know. I don't know who worked on this car before. I don't know who owned it before. I don't know what the problem they were having, but I'm assuming they tried to bypass a few things from what it looks like to solve their problem, and it didn't work. And I tried to send it back to stock, and it still doesn't quite seem so. Somewhere along the lines, something happened. So yeah, just like I said, it's just if you're going to have somebody work on anything, just make sure they're trusted, or make sure they're or make sure they are a reliable business or something. Kind of do your research on people. And just because if, like, say, a vehicle's in your price range, or the repairs are in your price range, still do your homework and make sure, because the other person that might be a little bit more expensive is probably a lot more certified, or I don't know how I want to put that. But yeah. Are we dancing? Are we dancing? Alright. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's playing right now.
I know, I just got it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's all I got, is just, like I said, do your research before you have anybody work on your stuff. Get other people's opinions, and then use your best judgment based off of what you know. Yeah. Now,
What's now?
we're gonna get into sports, bro.
We're gonna get into sports. Huskers are looking pretty good on the recruit side. The Novas lost again last week. Sometime last week. I don't know when. They lost again. The Super Bowl happened.
Yeah.
Usher performed. A lot of celebrities showed up. Taylor Swift was there. Ice Spice was there. Ice Spice was caught doing demonic signs, even though
Cardi B was there.
Yeah.
They showed her. Jay-Z,
Justin
Beyonce.
Bieber was there. Your mom was there.
I mean, not my mama, but Donna Kelsey was there. Maybe your guys' mama was there. I don't know. All depends.
But yes sir. Unfortunately, the Chiefs lost in overtime.
So yeah. Did you know that the 49ers overnight got 3 mailed in touchdowns, so they actually won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I saw that. A news article just came out today saying that the Lombardi Trophy has been safely taken over to San Francisco.
San Francisco was a really good team this year. I give them a lot of credit. They put up a really, really good fight.
Some people think it's rigged.
Some people think it's rigged.
There's a video going around, multiple videos going around, of in the fourth quarter at 1:32, 1 minute 32 seconds left.
In overtime.
And was it in overtime?
Or was it regulation?
It was fourth quarter.
Oh, was it fourth quarter?
That
Mahomes ran for 2 yards and apparently got a first down.
Yeah, Mahomes ran for 2 yards. It was a 1st and 10. He ran 2 yards, so it should have been 2nd and 8. But then they made it 1st and 10.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then there's the illegal receiver downfield for the Chiefs.
So speaking of that, So it was mentioned at halftime, which I don't have video of it, which I'd actually like to get hands on it. But apparently, according to the announcers at halftime, they discussed this, and during the Jennings to McCaffrey trick play, there was a offensive lineman downfield not blocking that should have been counted as an ineligible receiver because he was too many yards downfield, but it wasn't caught.
Mm-hmm.
So that was brought up at halftime because they were like this. So I mean, it's whether it was or wasn't. I mean, they still went in the half like up 10-3. So they had every opportunity to win. The other thing I hear is some of the 49er players didn't realize that the overtime rules changed, and Andy Reid and company held meetings every week to discuss overtime rules and regulations with his players, and they also ran through overtime during practice. They spent a little time running through overtime rules and regulations in case, like, Andy Reid isn't a dumb guy. Like, I mean, hell, this man has a chalkboard in his room. And he has a deal in there called Midnight Plays, and he just gets up and randomly starts coming up with plays in his head. So, I mean, not a dumb guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Andy Reid had probably in his game plan, he was like overtime plays. Or he had some type of overtime scenario that he was trying to plan for. So with that being said, it comes down to coaching at that point. Apparently the 49ers never thought they were going to be in that predicament, never expected to be in that predicament, so they didn't do their homework on it. While Andy Reid's going, hey, anything's possible, man. Let's figure this out. Let's plan for it. Let's at least like keep everybody informed. So if this would happen, everybody's on the same page. Everybody understands what we're doing. Yeah, I will be honest. So Nick Wright, if anybody watches First Things First, Nick Wright had rolled up in a van Monday morning that said "Never a Doubt" and had Chiefs on it. He's a Kansas City native. He has his own podcast and radio show or TV show. I will admit, even as a Chiefs fan, I doubted him at times. Because
Little faith.
I will be honest. We did not look like a superior team this year. Like our offense our defense was really, really good. And ultimately our defense is what won it for us. I mean, but yeah, I will be honest here throughout all season we had wide receivers that couldn't catch. They kept dropping balls. Nobody. We had offensive linemen that kept getting called for holding or false starts and just really, really bad timing on penalties. Mahomes didn't look like Mahomes at times.
Travis Kelce got more aggressive.
Travis Kelce also looked slower this year, except for he actually clocked his fastest time in the Super Bowl.
And threw a couple fits. I thought he was gonna punch Andy Reid.
But yeah. So I will be honest here. I never lost hope and I never lost faith, but there were certain times in there where it was really, really rocky.
I knew the Chiefs were gonna win as soon as the streaker came out on the field. Once the streaker came out on the field, you know the opposite. The losing team at that point is gonna win.
But yeah, like I said, I don't know. I really questioned it, and I will be honest here. I gotta give a lot of credit to Steve Spagnuolo, because he's one of those guys that, I mean, we saw it in the Baltimore game, really, of how genius Spags really is, because Lamar Jackson had several. Truth be told, Baltimore should have won that game, but Spagnuolo somehow has his way of he makes the offense play his game. We were one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, and Baltimore came out with started off like running the football, and they couldn't do anything against us, and that forced Spags like, yep, we suck at rushing. They're gonna come out rushing, but we're gonna make sure they don't gain a single yard, and it's gonna force them into what I do best, and that's blitz and coverage and man-to-man coverage, and we're gonna force them into the style of football play that I want them to play. And what happened? Lamar Jackson had several top running lanes where he could have ran the football and gained first downs, but he didn't. So I think, I mean, plus Spags is one of the defensive coordinators that's been able to stop Tom Brady and other elite quarterbacks too. So I gotta give a lot of hats off to, a lot of credit to him, because he knows where everybody's weak, and that's, I mean, even 49ers, they came out and they were able to, they had a lot better game plan with their rushing attack than what happened, but Spagnuolo kind of went in at halftime, and if you saw it, the first half, the rushing plays in the first half weren't there for the 49ers in the second half, so he figured out how to lock his guys in somehow. But yeah. So with that being said, is Chiefs are back-to-back champs. This is the first time it's been done since the Patriots did it in 04 and 05. This is also the second ever Super Bowl in history to go into overtime. The first Super Bowl to ever go into overtime was when the Atlanta Falcons decided to blow their 28-3 lead against the Patriots.
Oh, that's the last time.
That was the first ever overtime Super Bowl in history.
That was just disappointing.
It was.
28-3.
I mean, you're up 28-3 by half, and you somehow find a way to blow that. And it's a lot different when you're down 10 points or a score. So, but I mean, well, even a few weeks ago, the Lions proved it again too. They were up on the 49ers, looked like it was a solid win for them, and
Yeah,
Somehow.
completely just biffed it.
Yep, fell flat on their face, and
Got too cocky at halftime.
even, and like I said, is that game could have been a whole different game too, because if Dan Campbell actually wanted to, well, instead of his fourth downs, if he would have kicked a field goal, that could have changed momentum of things, kept momentum in Detroit's favor.
Mm.
But yeah, it is what it is. Brock Purdy really impressed me on the big stage. With him being kind of like a rookie quarterback. I mean, this is like his second year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with this being a second year, I didn't quite know how he was gonna do in the big lights. It's always amazing to see young talent like that in a big spotlight, and you can see their true characters. And I believe Brock Purdy will have the 49ers back in the Super Bowl either next year or the year after. I don't know.
49ers Ravens rematch. It's going to be in Orleans.
Could be. Very well could be.
It's going to be in Orleans. So
yeah. 49ers currently lead in Vegas right now for winning the Super Bowl next year. The odds have already came out, and 49ers are the number one team that Vegas has picked to win it next year. Now, I find that kind of disrespectful to the Chiefs, like being completely unbiased here. Like, the reason I find it disrespectful is, like, as I said, I'm being unbiased here. So you look at Chiefs last year, where they lost Tyreek Hill, they weren't supposed to be in a Super Bowl, so on and so forth. It was supposed to be a rebuild year, and they won a Super Bowl, right? This year, they weren't the Chiefs. Mahomes didn't look himself. Travis Kelce didn't look himself. Wide receivers couldn't catch passes. They didn't look like a Super Bowl team, and they somehow managed to win a Super Bowl. So, where are Vegas getting their, like,
it's Vegas. Don't try to understand Vegas. It's Vegas, okay? Don't even question Vegas. Just do what Vegas does, okay?
I get it, but like I said, it's a little weird because of the fact that, like, you look at what the team did last year and what the Chiefs did last year and what the Chiefs did this year. You would almost think that, I mean, as bad as it sounds, you'd almost think people would learn their lesson and stop betting against Mahomes. But
where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in losing 10 grand, okay? Where's the fun in that?
I don't know.
You gotta live a little bit.
I don't want to lose 10 grand.
Fucking pussy.
Unfortunately, I don't make enough to where I can just lose 10 grand and, like, not shit my pants.
But the payout would be huge, though. Think about the payout. If they are betting against Mahomes because of the payout, the huge payout.
Now, so I don't know. I'll be honest here. I don't know if, like, I don't know if Tom Brady kind of got this much disrespect. I always thought Tom Brady was kind of glorified as a quarterback and everybody liked him. I mean, I couldn't tell you. But I always kind of wonder when you look at it, like, when you go back to, like, say even '06, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did people have Tom Brady and the Patriots, like, did they have them predicted to do a three-peat? Or was it...
Tired of seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. We need a new team in the Super Bowl. Get the Chiefs out of here. Yeah.
So I agree. We need other teams in there. I am also, as a Chiefs fan, I am excited to be living in this era because we went through like Todd Haley and Matt Castle and
Matt Castle, that's who your quarterback was.
and like Damon Heward and Herm Edwards as coach, Romeo Crennel as a coach. Like, went through the dark ages, man.
It's alright. It's fine. It's fine.
So,
just because you missed a field goal to win against the Broncos a couple of times doesn't mean crap. Okay?
oh, speaking of that, this is like poetic justice right here. So the Chiefs win in Allegiant Stadium, which is the Raiders' home field, right? John Elway, the quarterback in the 90s of the Denver Broncos, said Mahomes would amount to nothing when he got drafted by Kansas City. Has to walk down the field, Raiders Stadium, with the Lombardi Trophy and hand it to the Chiefs. Now tell me how... Like, the only thing you're missing is, like, a Chargers somewhere in this whole mix. But it was weird. Like, it's kind of like a stab at everybody. Like, yeah, we just won in the Raiders Stadium, and the best Bronco quarterback is going to have to hand us the Lombardi Trophy.
See, that's where it's scripted. That's where it's scripted. See, they're like, oh, look at this goal that I'm about to write. Yeah, that's where it's scripted, buddy. You think it's poetic justice, but it's just scripted, okay?
Well, and tell me this: how is it the two receivers that struggled with drops the most, and one wasn't even there to begin the season because the Chiefs gave up on him? So MVS had the most drops all season for the Chiefs, right? He's the only one to score. He was the only one to score a touchdown in regulation, right? Now, Mecole Hardman got released from the Chiefs last year. They didn't want him anymore. New York Jets basically dropped him off to the bottom of their wide receiver room. And part of that might have been because of the Aaron Rodgers injury too. They probably had a plan for him, but with Rodgers getting injured, they couldn't utilize that plan. I don't know that, but I'd assume that's what happened. But yeah, and then Mecole Hardman comes in and drops basically every pass that comes his way, and he scores the game-winning touchdown. Which that's also kind of a little of like
Scripted. Scripted. It was 100% scripted. They told MVS at the beginning of the season, you got to drop every single pass that is thrown to you. You can't catch one until playoffs, broski. But we'll let you know what playoff game you can catch them.
He like came up with big plays in every playoff game though. But yeah, it was. I found that kind of a little ironic too. Like the two guys who struggled the most throughout the season are the ones who score the touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
scripted.
I'm not saying it's scripted. I don't know. It's.
Come on, it's entertainment, Levi.
It is entertainment.
So it's scripted. Thank you. Every entertainment, WWE, even NASCAR is scripted, okay? Even NASCAR is scripted.
Okay, you might be able to script NASCAR a lot better than you could a football game. Like, let's be real here.
Scripted.
Because all in NASCAR is you have to tell people who you want to win and when to, like, hey, we want this person open, or we want this person winning. So
We want
whenever
this person to wreck, so you gotta cause the wreck. You gotta lose control. You gotta go up on the high stretch, and then come hard down
see
into the rear of number 24 and make him spin out of control. And then you need to roll your car.
So I'll be honest here.
I said high stretch, back stretch.
You know,
Yeah.
so I'll be honest here. Like, there are times where I wonder if the NFL is scripted. Like,
Just
I mentioned.
assume it's scripted, okay? Just say it's scripted and enjoy it for what it is.
Okay, so
It's
tell
a good.
me.
It's a good bedtime story.
Okay, so first of all, let me just put it this way: if it's scripted, don't you think Antonio Brown would have came out and said something already?
Antonio Brown is probably getting paid millions of dollars to stay quiet.
Okay, this league's been around for 100 years, and about 1,000. There's probably about 1 million employees, and about 1,000 plus people get fired every year. Not once has anybody officially came out.
That's probably because they got retirement benefits and they know to just shut up because they're getting paid. And if they don't, and if they say something, they lose everything, broski. There are ways you can control people.
I know. But
Manipulation.
Oh, trust me, I know. But I'm also just saying is those are like the ones where I sit here and like go, how do they make this function? Because while we're on the whole scripted thing, this is just a side note.
Yeah.
So, in WWE, do you think they tell the announcers how it's gonna go down, or do you just let the announcers like announce the game, like the match?
That's a good question. That's a,
Like,
I feel I would like the raw expression, right? Because that's awesome. But I feel like there's been a couple times where the announcers beat to saying what the player, like the wrestler was doing before the wrestler did it. Yeah. And it's like, a little too early on the cue, bud.
but yeah, I've always wondered that because it's like they know it's fake, they know it's scripted, but it's like, do you hand them the script, or do you just let you're just like, hey, these are the matches we have tonight. Call them for how you see it, and then it makes it a little bit more entertaining.
Oh!
Exactly.
RKO! Oh!
Exactly. Like
And oh my gosh! The Death Taker's coming out! Oh!
the Death Taker.
The Death Taker. Undertaker. Oh my goodness! It's the death choke, isn't it? Or is it just the choke slam?
The choke slam and pile driver. The pile driver will send you to hell. The tombstone pile driver.
Did you see Stone Cold Steve Austin? There we go. His Super Bowl commercial. No, you didn't see it with the Kawasaki. The Kawasaki, however you pronounce the. It was the side by side commercial.
Kawasaki's?
The Kawasaki's.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, every time they were driving by something, it would grow hair. So a bear would grow hair, and they drove by Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro. And He grew hair, and he's like, "Thanks, guys." And
Oh, I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
yeah, that one. Any like Super Bowl commercials stand out to you, broski?
Not really. I was really anticipating like a big Geico commercial with the caveman. Like, just because it's like, why bring him back and why kind of like hype it up?
Mm.
To me, like, that's your teasers, and then you drop your bombshell in the Super Bowl. Like, but I didn't really see like a big caveman Geico commercial. It always dealt with the
Missed opportunity.
yeah. They had one, and it dealt with the lizard or the Geico itself. But I was like, you guys missed a huge. Like, you bring the caveman back and you tease us with the whole caveman,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't drop a bombshell commercial during a Super Bowl. Like, come on.
Yeah. Now the one I was real hyped for was Deadpool 3. The trailer dropped, bro. Yeah, buddy.
There's another trailer that dropped during it too.
Mm-hmm.
Was
I don't know.
yeah. I was gonna say I think there's another trailer that dropped during that.
Oh, Planet of the Apes.
I gotta get, like, Budweiser didn't really have a good one this year. They usually, like, they almost nail about every one of their Super Bowl commercials, and this year just...
Michelob Ultra had a decent one with Mezzy in it.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that Mezzy came over here, bro.
I don't know.
All the teams were fighting for him overseas, and he came over here to Florida.
But yeah, there wasn't really... any really commercials that really stuck out this
Yeah,
year.
it kind of sucked. The game sucked. The halftime show sucked.
The game actually didn't really... The game was a nail-biter.
The game was decent. Okay, it was decent. It would have been better if the 49ers won, but, you know, it was decent.
I'll say any game, like, any game where it comes down to, like, the final, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes down to the wire, last year's Super Bowl, it was good. The bad part is the holding call, which, I mean, was clearly a holding because the jersey got pulled. But, like, I didn't really like that because it's like, this is... It was like a toss-up. Like, the game was really, really close. It was a nail-biter. And then it came down to a penalty, which led to the Chiefs winning it. Which I'm like... I liked it that the penalty happened because the Chiefs won because they're my favorite team. But at the same time, it was like... Oh, man, like... Couldn't Mahomes have actually had to, like, work for it and make it, like, an actual entertaining game and not something like that where, like, this year it was literally, like, you didn't really, at the end of it, you really didn't have any flags, you really didn't have things that changed the outcome, you kind of just let them play and drove down the field. tied it up. Overtime. I mean, overtime was intense. I mean, Mahomes pulled his own number a time or two to keep play. I mean, throughout the whole game, he pulled his number a time or two just to keep the whole game alive, which you don't see Mahomes do that very often. But yeah, that was. Like I said, it's games like that where it literally makes you sit at the edge of your seat and you kind of don't know which direction it's going to take. Those are the fun ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the reason I liked this year, was because this was more of a. It was one of the more entertaining football games that I've seen in a long time. Because it came down to.
For sure.
To a nail biter. It didn't come.
Now, Usher performance. Decent. Decent.
I don't know. I wasn't really a fan of.
Rihanna's last year was better.
I
did like that Luda and Lil Jon came out.
like that too. I liked how Will I Am came out too.
I was really hoping DJ David Guetta would come out.
But no, I kind of liked his. I'll admit, I kind of liked the song lineup in a sense, just because it was a lot of his popular songs that kind of made him famous. But like the performance of it just
wasn't there.
I don't know.
It just wasn't there.
Like, I don't know. It just seems like something was missing. And wanted to ask, who in the world decides that Post Malone is gonna sing?
Yeah, I sat there and well, because he made a country album, right? I think he released his country album. I don't know. But the auto-tune needs to go away. Especially in live performances, the auto-tune just needs to go away. Auto-tune sucks, bro. Especially in live performances.
I mean, I do give him credit, because he's not that type of person to do those type of songs. Or you look at the stuff he does, you don't think of him doing a patriotic song like that. But so I do give him a lot of credit for doing that, and on that note, is he did do really well. It just something just seemed off with the whole thing.
That's because it's scripted, Levi.
Reba did a good job. I'll give her that.
I missed Reba. I didn't get to hear Reba. No, I did hear Reba. Yeah, I did hear Reba. That's a good one.
Reba did a good job.
I thought she was a little fast on a couple times. Because it seemed like the music was too slow.
Reba did a good job. Reba still looks good for her age. Either A, they used a lot of makeup, or B, she still looks good for her age. Because I didn't really think. Looking at her, it didn't look like she aged very much. So yeah, like I said, either they used a lot of makeup, or B. I do know a few years ago she did have like plastic surgery and stuff done, so that could have, I don't know what all she had done,
Yeah.
but that could have played a role in it too. But yeah.
So any final thoughts, big bro?
Any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts?
No, not really. I mean, besides the fact that this was the 7th longest postseason game, the Super Bowl is. But yeah.
It happens.
The other thing is, did the cameraman, like, I have no problem with like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, right? And I respect Taylor for showing up and supporting her man. But when they were kissing, hugging, and everything after they won a Super Bowl, did the cameraman really have to zoom in on them doing all
I
that?
mean, they did that the same right after the Baltimore game, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? Like,
come on, people, like, you can show them being affectionate toward each other, but you really gotta be like up in their faces watching them do it. Like, come on, man.
Dude, just trying to get his money. That's all. He was just doing his job. He was doing what the script told him to do.
Yeah, but I figured there could have been a lot of other moments captured after. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because you look at like other Super Bowls and you look at all this stuff that was captured, like all the celebration and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden you see that for like the last 30 seconds to a minute, and then they end it, and you're like, where's Mahomes and his family, or yeah, that's just my final thoughts. Is what were they thinking? Oh, also another final thought. That I just thought of. So you know how earlier you were talking about the Super Bowl being scripted and at a minute 32 them catching the change of downs. Now, so I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna say the NFL is or is not scripted, right? But there's a lot of times, I mean, especially in today's world, where there's a lot of technology that people can use, or there's also
but
people
do you know how hard using that tech? Well, and it's not just the one thing. It came from multiple people, and you know how hard it is to do that on a moving thing. When you're filming a TV, you got to get the right glare off of that TV, and you have to make it a motion thing, so you have to stop every freaking millisecond to change it. It's really freaking difficult, bro.
I understand all that.
And they wouldn't have it out by now, okay?
I understand that. But what I'm getting at is the fact that, like, people make mistakes, right? So
you're going to the broadcasters mess up.
Yeah, so what I'm getting at is, like, if, say, this is one thing is, like, I would actually love to.
Well, they'll be replaying the Super Bowl here soon sometime, so just watch it then.
Yeah, so what I'd really like to do is, like, possibly record games or something, so then when people make notions like this, you can actually go back and actually, like, confirm it. Right? Now, like I said, I'm not saying it is or is it's not, but I also know people can make a mistake. So, if, the key word here is if, somebody did make a mistake and this guy caught it, all they'd have to do is cut out that section, and then when it gets changed, they leave that part out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes it look like it's in Chiefs' favor. I mean, I don't know. This is a little food for thought. Like, I don't know what goes on. I don't get paid the big bucks to solve all this. But I know there's a lot of times where I know there's a lot of times, I mean, even growing up, Mom always said there's three sides to every story. There's your side, my side, and the truth. And you're going to collect whatever evidence you want to prove your side is the right side, no matter how, whichever way you got to tweak the actual facts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I mean, and then again, the NFL very well could be rigged, and people are slowly catching on to what they're doing. I mean, that is a very good possibility too, because, like I said, I've questioned it time to time. I just don't know how you can have so many moving parts and not someone.
And that's why you're not part of the NFL, buddy.
Exactly. They'd probably hate me in the NFL. I'd be too real.
That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna let.
What we need to do is we just need to let Stone Cold Steve Austin just raise hell. Start flipping people off, stunning them, and chugging beer, and then I'm just sitting in the background going like, "Should have listened."
Mm.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, that's all I got for. That's all I got for final thoughts. Do you have any final thoughts for
I
this
do
week?
not. Other than it's our last episode.
It's our last
It's our
episode.
last episode for a while, so
So yeah,
I'll
we'll
miss you guys. I'll miss you guys.
we'll miss you all.
I'll miss you.
So we'll all miss you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is our last episode. We'll be logging off for a while.
We'll do our research and create a script, because we're scripted. Gotta be scripted 100.
We like to be raw and everything, but we also need
We're
a little-
procrastinators.
we also need a little bit more organization. So we're going to log off here for a while, go through and
Take notes.
possibly watch some of our old film from this last season, figure out what we can and cannot do to make things better. If you do need to reach us, since we will be logging off for a while, if you do need to reach us, you can find us on Facebook at Levi Kelowitz or Isaiah Kelowitz. The other one is like,
You can just go to Facebook or Insta at Backyard BS Podcast, and yeah, I'll see those messages too.
is there anywhere else where maybe you need to reach me? Good Samaritan Mechanics is another way you can reach me on Facebook. Yeah, is there any other forms of contact in case they need to reach us?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Do be on the lookout for possible live shows
For holidays.
because we have figured out that people like kind of like the informative
History,
history stuff
and
like
whatever random things we do on
Yeah,
the holidays.
We go through conspiracy theories of the holidays. We go through the history of holidays. Just kind of all try to make it informative and entertaining all at the same time. And half the time we look like idiots. But if you're watching this, you already know we're a bunch of idiots. So
Proud to be of service, because we're Americans. Over here they make idiots, and stupidity shines. Alright, anyway.
anyway,
So, peace, love, happiness, and unity.
and rock on.
Later, homies.